Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping back down into the world of Cardano's ADA, taking a look at the price action and what has been going on with what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and stay up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, check it out. Linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. Okay, let's jump on right down into this one, right? So here we have ADA paired up with USDT on the hourly chart, and Binance is the data source. Last time we were talking about ADA a couple of days ago, we said that we had two options. We were either going to break down and we were going to end up down in this low area between 36.49 to 36.96, or we were going to break up and we're going to find ourselves inside the area of 39.68 to 40.01. Okay, well, inside this kind of triangular wedge pattern right up here, you can kind of see that we just roughly drew on this trend line, and you can kind of see here we did break to the upside, which basically meant that we ended up going to our higher target just up here at 39.68 to 40.1. So the second that we kind of broke out of there, we kind of had a good idea that that's where we were going to kind of find the reversal. Then, of course, what happened is we actually went down to the lower target, and we came down here, and we actually also took out that lower target of 36.49 to 36.96. So both the targets that we were talking about actually got taken out within, a space of a couple of days here. So although we were saying both of these options were possible, it looks like ADA actually went ahead and did both the options. It took both of them out. Our B wave actually was higher, which should have meant that our C wave should not have gone down this low, but it does sometimes overextend like that. So what I'll do is I'm just going to show this on here. We'll move this over. We'll see where that kind of rested right there on the 1.618. So that in itself could be constituting this to be a 5-wave structure. And I would say it's very, very interesting if we were to look at it like that. If we take this point over this side, move this to here, and yeah, we don't really meet the requirements here for thinking this is a 5-wave structure, unless of course it is a diagonal pattern, in which case we could. So I'm going to see how this kind of reacts next, because it's possible that this is actually a 5-wave move coming on down here, meaning that it's very unlikely that that C wave is going to go up any higher. Okay, we were talking about this move to 41.49 to 43.3. I'm going to leave it there for now, but if we are to do 5 waves coming down here, then that won't be a thing. So what will happen here is it will be 1, 2, 3 up here for 4, down into 5. Now there will be no overlap, which actually would mean that this is likely to be our 4th wave high, and we're likely to come on down into a 5th wave movement. Now I still think wave 3 is in play potentially, but let's go ahead and do some sense checks. I'm going to remove this quickly, and I'm going to focus in on this recent move for ADA. Okay, we have this move coming down. This can be 5 waves. This isn't a problem. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. We'll pull this over to our wick high here. Yes, that's 5, that's 4, that's 5th down there. And again, that all constitutes some pretty nice movements. Then we do just one sense check on wave 4 to wave 5. If any of this seems a little bit alien to you guys, do check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 Elliott wave theory that'll help you understand what I'm drawing here. But basically, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that will be our wave 3. That's our wave 1 on this side. I'm going to mark this as a diagonal movement right in here, like this. Okay, and then we come up in 3, right up here, come down in 5. We've gone up in 3, most recent move, right in here. We'll just check this to make sure that all of this is right in our lines of our expectations, which not quite. We got rejected from the 786. Our minimum expectation would be to basically push up higher than this wick just here, which was 37.37. So minimum expectations have been met. Our stochastic on the hourly chart is overbought. So again, that would be telling us that we're likely to see the reversal. We're looking for 5 waves down. I'm going to mark this as the 5th wave high. Let me just do that. But theoretically, we could push up a fraction higher. I would look for making sure we stay below this key level up here. Where is it? This one here. So I wouldn't want to see us come above 37.68, and our 1-to-1 would be 37.70. So rejection from around here seems likely. We also have our 200 EMA right up here as well. That's currently rocking 37.62. So rejection, I think, is likely. I'm going to take this high as our wave 4 high, and it's going to then allow us to assume that our fifth wave expectations are now to be down here, and that was going to be 35.91 to 36.29. I'll remove the fibs, and there we go. So I now have our expectations right in line just here, and if I draw this out, this to me would look like a really odd kind of five-wave structure, but it is just the beginning of something else, because we can't just have 5 waves on their own. So if we are to come down into this range without creating an invalidation, which if the price was to go up higher than 37.68, then yeah, we wouldn't have a 5-wave structure. It's just a 3-wave structure, which would be marked up as a zigzag, or even at best 335, something to that effect. Because this is a potential leading diagonal. I have to go down into the lower time frames to scrutinize to make sure it would fit, which I'm not going to do in the video, but we'll keep it as an open idea. So if we do complete this and we do move down here, we have that 5th wave low, then we can have a bigger 3-wave structure to the upside after. Okay, and then we can talk about moving down again in another 5-wave fashion, as we are looking at moving down. Now, if we are to do this and we are to come down again in 5, and it was to be a really big 5 waves all of a sudden, let's say by Wednesday, then we've got ourselves a recipe for something really, really interesting here, which could be a big impulsive structure that actually takes us into the lows that we've been talking about on the larger time frames. Okay, so if I come up into our daily here, bring this down, you can see that we're still below our 200 EMA, and our expectations are to come down to those existing lows. At the moment, I'm liking this as a triple zigzag potential on the smaller time frames. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 and 𝗕𝗙𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 smaller time frames on ADA. So we should be aware that it's very, very corrective, and this potentially does move on down. Now, it's possible it's just a double zigzag, but I'm thinking, considering where we need to kind of get to on the bigger macros, I'm thinking it might actually end up being a triple zigzag, which is the maximum number of zigzags you can have in a row. So we're going to keep that in mind. On our daily, we're correcting nicely. On the weekly, we are overbought, so we're expecting some turbulence there. These 20, 16, and 12 hour, they're okay. We could see a move upwards. The 8 hours okay. The 4 hours okay, and the hourly just needs to correct down. This basically tells us that we're looking to finish off the fifth wave movement here. On the smaller time frames, we're just looking to come down, and then we're going to have a bigger run upwards. We'll probably see a significant surge, you know, a good maybe 5 to 10% or so to the upside, but I wouldn't expect us to breach the existing highs. In fact, this is not valid. I just noticed why that's not valid. So in fact, we can't do that. So that is not what's going on there. The reason is we can't retrace more than 100% of our wave one. So it's basically 5 coming down. So actually on the premise of that, this is going to change the analysis. Should have noticed that a lot sooner, so my apologies there. Let's just re-scrutinize this just a little bit here. Okay, so obviously we can't do this. That would create an invalidation. So in fact, we've come 5 down here. We're going 3 up. Next expectation is going to be much lower than this. So if that is going to be a completed move here, we'll get rid of our invalidation lines. That's no longer valid. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and just readjust this. I'm going to go out here and say we do come back down into this demand area then, 36.49 to 36.96, and then move up higher. There's 2 different ways of looking at this. We've gone 5 down. This is something that has happened. We can either go again 5 down, okay, from our existing high right here, and get rejected from this 200 EMA, and talk about going down to 34.36. Okay, I think that's going to be a bit too extreme for the stochastic RSIs on those higher time frames. So instead, I think we're probably going to come back down into this low, bounce up a little bit. I would say that we're probably more than likely going to find support a little bit lower than. Let's take this existing low here, move up, get rejected from the 50 EMA at about 37.85, and then from there we move down. So if I go ahead and take that, move that to here, let me just readjust these. Yeah, I would say we're probably looking to retest 34.6, and it will be a big ABC at best. It could still be impulsive. We could still have those bigger moves to the downside, but that there did create an invalidation. I should have noticed that earlier, so my apologies on that one. So yeah, so basically 535 at best, otherwise 53535, going down significantly further. And yeah, so I would say we're probably going to expect some turbulence and some volatility just up where we are right now. Do expect to move down, but I don't think that's going to be long term. I think that's going to be short term, and then we move up, and then we collapse down later. I think we're going to expect to see some volatility, some pretty big volatility with Cardano's ADA on the kind of smaller time frames. Everything on the larger time frames still remains pretty much the same. We are still looking for a move to the downside, and if we're starting our zigzag process, then at least on the smaller time frames, yeah, then that could be leading us down into that triple zigzag on a bigger macro, because again, this will be potentially looking at WXY, and all that kind of stuff. So not surprising to see these micro 5-wave moves. I'm going to leave the video there though, guys. If you have found it useful and informative, then hit the like button. If you've found my blunder entertaining there with the invalidation I didn't notice until the last minute, then hit the like button. I appreciate that. Light it up. Let's show some appreciation there. And if you're new, subscribe, right? And I'd stay up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one, though, have a fantastic day.